And welcome to the end of Civilization 4 Caveman2Cosmos, the Augustus run, or the Augustus criminal Caesar run. Let's just finish. Retire, since I can't get the victories. I've won. I wasn't defeated game. I won. Like, pretty handedly I won. We started here. Japan started here. Japan had a really bad starting location, I would say. However, they managed to stay ahead by being secluded. No one could hurt them. They wouldn't go to war with anyone. They could expand however they felt like. And they didn't have to build a lot of units. So that's a benefit for them. We had a lot of space to expand. Everybody had a lot of space to expand, really. Well, this is the Romans here. The Germans are here. The Polynesians started over here. Assyria started here. And the Dutch not... That looks like the Dutch city there, but... No, they didn't actually start. So they started over here. Wow, that's a lot of space between each. Okay. Again, our culture was the slowest to start. But eventually we just got more and more and more and more and more culture. What can I say about this run? So I'll say that the criminal run was interesting. It's very inefficient if you have limited. It's very inefficient if you have limited limited units on. Very inefficient. You want unlimited units to build as many burglars and as many criminal units as you possibly can. On top of that, you don't really want to use your espionage slider or really any of those things. You don't want deceiver, you don't want any of the criminal stats traits until later in the game, because higher level difficulty AI you don't want to be hurting. You don't want to be fighting against. You want to just be, if you look right here, what I did. This is still fairly early on in the game, but I completely blocked off this side of the map from Germany, which was a big thing for me to do. Germany also cut me off from the rest of the map, but yeah. So the criminal playthrough was fun. If I was playing more seriously, I definitely wouldn't have picked Imperialist. Philosopher probably. But I wouldn't have picked Imperialist, I wouldn't have picked Deceiver, I wouldn't have picked any of that. I would have picked Diplomat, Humanist, Scientist, anything that gives me +1 diplo relations with the AI, dependent on the difficulty. The higher the difficulty, the more I would want the that AI thing. And there's all my wars with Germany happening right now. Yeah, you can see me pushing, losing ground, pushing, losing ground, and then eventually you'll just see in one turn Germany just disappear, which was fucking hilarious. And then I push a lot faster, and I think it's about now that you'll just see Germany disappear. Yep, look at that. That was fucking hilarious. And then you'll see the rest of the map just disappear. We spent 44 hours and 29 minutes playing this run. That is probably longer than it needed to be, because I did have times where I would just leave the game running while I went away and did stuff. I would say it's more like 35-ish hours. Anyway, as we were saying, the criminal playthrough is interesting. You have to run with unlimited units because you kind of have to get those exiles, thieves, burglars, rogues, assassins. Like, you need an infinite amount, because that's your play style. That's what you're meant to be building. And I would also suggest not really building any of them until you get to burglars in the medieval era, so that you can just go ahead and run to a city, get espionage points, and then build up all the espionage points you can, completely fuck up the AI through spread anarchy, consistently spread anarchy with all of these cities. I would suggest like 10 spies per civilization until you get to the point where you have so much espionage points on a certain civilization that you can just go ahead and bribe cities. And then I would suggest probably 3 spies per city. And then if you have enough espionage points to do every city 3 times, at 50% of course, just go ahead and bribe every single city that an opponent has within 1 turn. That way when they declare war on you, they cannot counteract because they'll be dead. All their units disappear as well. They don't even turn into barbarians, but that's probably because I had no barbarians on. I think if I had barbarians on, they would have all turned into barbarians, possibly. Not 100% sure about that. But yeah, I would definitely suggest not running any of the criminal traits until the medieval era. Once you're in the medieval era, you should be strong enough to counteract any attacks by the AI. The earlier in the game, the harder it is to counteract the AI, because they can build units, and they can build a massive amount of units when you cannot. Yeah, it was an interesting run. I very rarely go for espionage because I'm usually ahead in tech. But on deity, espionage is definitely a very, very worthy playthrough. Very, very, very worthwhile run, because you can steal tech at half the cost of researching it. And if your espionage points are at roughly the same as your research points, then it's better to espionage and steal the tech than it is to research it yourself, because you're researching it at 50% of the cost. True, it takes 5 turns to get the 50%, but if you have 5 spies in one city, that is 1 tech per turn at 50% cost. And then you can also put anarchy into the AI, and they won't be able to do anything for something like between 5 and like 15 turns. And once that happens and you steal all the tech, you will then be ahead of them in tech, and then you can start bribing their cities. You can start teching up again. It's really fucking strong, espionage. I still think espionage is really strong. It's too cheap for a lot of things. And if the AI have your religion, it's even fucking cheaper. Which is very rare. Like, the AI tend not to have your religion. Yeah, so that's that playthrough. I don't think we did well. I'm upset that mercy rule didn't come into effect, that domination didn't come into effect. Really, the game would have wanted me to finish completely, like take over everything, and I don't even know if I wanted to, because I still had 30 cities to take off the Netherlands. I had 24 cities to take off the Assyrians, 1 city to take off the Polynesians, but that was going to happen sooner or later. I could have done it. Like, there's no question of if I could or couldn't have done it, because I would have just used spies and stolen every city through bribing. Anyway, that was fun. Yeah, that was fun. I still think gold is no issue after guilds is formed. And yeah. thank you all very, very, very much for watching. I hope you all had fun. I'm not sure what my next playthrough will be. I will have to look into that. I have asked in a previous episode, and I'll ask again. What do you guys think about do you guys prefer me to do the criminal run, or do you guys prefer me to play as a person? So play as Augustus Caesar, play as Mansa Musa, like one of these characters, or do you want me to play as efficiently as possible? So that's pretty much your 3 picks. Do you want to see me play as a specific trait style? So a criminal, a scientist, a diplomat or something like that. Do you want to see me play as leaders, which I've been doing up till now? Well, sort of. Or do you want to see me play as efficiently as possible? To play as like a criminal or one of those traits, I play as anybody, and it would be specific to the culture group, so the Europeans, and stuff like that, because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what traits you start with, because you would just start with none. It'd be different if you had the characters, because you would start with traits, and even the efficiency one, I would start with traits as well. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I hope to see you all next time. Have fun, people, and bye bye.